What's up, Muskegon County Jail? This is Nate Johnson. I'm the programming director here at 70 times 7 Life Recovery right here in Muskegon. I want to talk with you for a few minutes about what we do here in Muskegon. And I think when we finish here, you'll probably think that this may be a good thing for you to be a part of. We'd love to have you come be a part of 70 times 7 right here in Muskegon. But let me share a little bit of my story first, so you know who I am, what I'm about, and then we'll talk about what we actually do here at 70 times 7. My name's Nate Johnson, and most of you have probably heard who I am. I used to rotate with the Mason Street Boys downtown, eventually being connected with the neighborhood that I grew up in and running with them guys. I ended up getting caught up in the game, hustling, doing things I shouldn't have done, and it ended up leading me to a 17.5 to 50-year prison sentence. After getting sent to prison, after I was in about 3 years, I ended up having an encounter with Jesus in my cell that ended up flipping my world upside down. After my encounter with the Lord and changing the game up and having a new mission in life, I realized I still had my ability to hustle. I still had my ability to recruit. But this time, I've surrendered them over to the Lord, and I allowed the Lord to use my hustle skills, my recruiting skills for His glory, to use it for what He wanted to. So I spent the next 10 years in prison, renewing my mind, getting my heart right, feeding on the Word, and really coming to a place where I really developed a real authentic relationship with God. And the thing just became alive on the inside of me. Being in relationship with Him, it changed everything up. I ended up serving 12.5 years off that 17.5. I ended up having a dope case, and most of you who've been around the block long enough and even running around back in the 90s, you remember the mandatory consecutive sentencing laws that Michigan had on all the drug felony cases. After that, man, after I got the time off was really when God really began to come after me. And after my encounter, I ended up serving another 10 years in prison, renewing my mind, doing what He had called me to do while I was in there. But inside, I had this burning passion after I got saved, was that I felt like God was calling me back to Muskegon, back to the same streets where I used to rotate at. And this time, I was going to be a blessing instead of a curse. And I really felt like God was sending me back to help clean up what I had helped mess up. And within this passion, there was a real passion to want to help with men and women returning back home out of prison. And I recognized the struggle. I used to see guys, there was like this cycle of defeat that they were in. They would come to prison, and then they would get out, and then they would come back, and then they would get out. And through my 12.5 years, I can remember specifically guys by names who had been in and out 4 and 5 times. And they had went in after I went in the first time. And throughout that 12.5 years, they would come in and do a 2-3 year bid in and out. And it was like the cycle just continued to perpetuate itself to the point to where it was like, is this what it's all about? Is this what the game is all about, this in and out stuff? And so, man, after I just came to my senses, after my encounter with the Lord, man, it just flipped my world upside right instead of upside down. And man, there's just a real passion to want to come back and help out. So after I came home in 2013. So I've been home a little over 3 years now. And man, when I came home, I hit the ground running. Ended up getting me a job on Henry Street, working at the auto spa, was helping wash cars. And eventually, a couple months later, I ended up going back to school. Rolled down at MCC, got enrolled in classes, took a full load, and started rolling. Things began to unfold in my life. I was doing a Bible study with some guys that I was in the joint with, and then eventually an opportunity came open where someone had offered me an elementary school. And so I ended up taking it, teamed up with another guy. We ended up planting a church called Kingdom Life, and then I got hooked up with another guy shortly after coming home named Joe Whalen. Most of you probably have heard of his name. And him and I got hooked up, and we set up on this venture to plant a prison ministry, and we went hard at it. And so now, 3 years later, after being out, here it is. We've launched 70 times 7 Life Recovery. It's a prisoner reentry program. We launched back March 1st with taking participants in, and we planted the church, and we did it all in one building. So here's what we're doing now, and I really want you guys to come and be a part of 70 times 7 here in Muskegon. But what we really want, we want to work with men and women who are at a place where they're done with the game. Because all of you know, just like I know, until you're ready to change and until that lifestyle has worn you out, there's nothing anybody can do for you. There's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing that you can even do for yourselves. So here's the reality. We're out here, we're here, we want to help, and we can help assist you and do what we do. So let me share a little bit about what we do here at 70 times 7. 70 times 7, like I told you, we're a prisoner reentry program. So what we do, when you first come to us, you come to the office, we'll go through intake, and you'll sit down with me or one of our staff members, and we'll do intake. We'll go through, we'll get to know you, we'll hang out for a little while, we'll talk. I want to hear where your mind is at, I want to catch your vibe, I want to see what you're about, and then we want to get you rolling and unpack the program and see if this can work for you. So when you first come in, we'll go through intake, and then I'll give you a schedule of what the next 4 to 6 weeks are going to look like. What we do have here is instead of doing a bunch of things, we just do a few things really, really well. So one thing we do, we teach a Jobs for Life curriculum. And because we want people to be prepared to keep a job for life. And we also have our own staffing company called New Day Staffing. We have our own employment agency right here at the prison ministry. We also have a mentoring program. And part of that mentoring program is to put us in healthy relationships with people who are not necessarily perfect, but they have a lot of things that they can offer to those of us returning back home, coming back to the streets, out of incarceration, and we're ready to get on our feet. We're ready to get the ball rolling, so to speak. And these are people who we're not only going to learn from their successes, but also their failures. And we get connected with these people who we call mentors, and they kind of come walk alongside of us and be kind of like a soundboard for us so that we can ask questions to. And we're going through frustrating times. These are people that we can call and we can connect with. And they come from a variety of different backgrounds, but I guarantee you they'll be a benefit and a plus to you and a blessing to you in the long run. So when you get here, you'll be in the Jobs for Life class. It's a 2-week course taught by Devine. She's our employment readiness trainer. And she will go through, and you'll go through a whole curriculum of different thoughts and perspectives about work. Like, why do we work? What is the purpose? Why did God design us to work? So you'll go through a 2-week course of that, and then you'll graduate. At the same time, you'll go through a 4-week process of what we call serving together. It's like our own work-assimilated experience. And you'll show up every Wednesday from 9 to 1:30, and you'll do odd jobs around the facility here. We have site coordinators that are real handy men that can fix almost anything, at least from my perspective. They can fix anything, and they're going to come walk alongside of you so that we can work on the soft skills. Because one of the things, by having our own employment agency, we want to make sure that the people that we're marketing, the people that we're putting out there, have the goods to keep the job. So one thing that we want to pay attention to during serving together, I want to know, can you show up on time? When you get here, are you willing to work? When you are given assignment, will you stay committed to that? And we want to focus on the soft skills. And if the soft skills are missing, we want to help develop those things and kind of bring them to your attention and say, hey, if we need to work on this, this, and this, and if we can get a handle on that, and we can go some places, then we can begin to market you with the employment agency, and we can eventually get you a job. So once you go into the employment pool, once you graduate serving together and you graduate Jobs for Life, we'll put you in the mentor pool simultaneously. So you'll go into the employment pool and the mentoring pool at the same time. So when you get in there, I'm going to match you with a mentor, and you'll be going in the job in the employment pool, and you'll be getting matched up with an employer who will hire you. So you'll take the mentor, and you have to agree to a 6-month relationship with this mentor to meet for at least an hour a week. And when you do that, once you meet for an hour a week, you do that for 6 months. Then after the 6 months, it's totally up to you if you want to continue in that relationship. If it's not profitable and it's not producing any fruit, you don't have to keep doing it. But we at least ask and require that you commit to a 6-month relationship with your mentor. And as long as that commitment is being fulfilled on your end, we'll keep you at your employer, whoever hired you. So after that, a couple of the sub-ministries that we have, and that's probably basically the majority of the program, but we also put everyone in group mentoring. And so what we want to do is I want to give people kind of resurrect dreams and bring back their passion and awaken the things that they know that they're here for, what they're called to do. And so what we do is when you get in group mentoring, what we'll do, we'll go through and we'll exhaust this concept and these ideas about what is a mentor, what is a mentee. And then during that time, we're going to put together dream boards. And I want to kind of draw the gold, the dreams out of you. And when you're in this class, we're going to go through this and we're going to work with you to draw the dreams out of you. And then we're going to create these dream boards that we do. And you'll learn more about that when you get here. The other things that we do, we have the Abstract Writers Academy, which is kind of like our creative arts group. And so we have guys that can rap, guys that can sing, guys that can do the spoken word, they can write poems, they can act, and we all come together, and it's brothers and sisters who can share their stories through the creative arts. So we have that component. The other component is our CLEAR group, which is our Coalition Leadership Education Accountability Rehabilitation Group. And what we do is we take different people from the Department of Corrections, the police department, guys on parole, and guys who are off parole. And we come together kind of as a support group, and we'll discuss a number of things. So we may have discussions about race, religion, frustrations with dealing with our significant other, child support, police harassment, just coming into difficult times where we get to a place to where we just have a place that we can just vent. We can bring things out. We can use other people as soundboards. Now, I notice some of you probably are thinking, well, you said the police are going to be there, the Department of Corrections. Trust me, it's not what you're thinking. These aren't police officers who are out trying to railroad you and get you locked up. It's a police officers that are down at a place to where they recognize they're no different than we are. And trust me, if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't be a part of this. The Department of Corrections, they're the same way. We got two individuals, two employees from the DOC that come in, and they really want to see us succeed. They really want to see us get on our feet. And so it's a support group, a time to connect with people that you can relate to, and also people that are leaders inside of society. So we invite you to come out to that. That's every first and third Thursday of every month from 11 to 1. You don't even have to be a part of the 7x7 program to be a part of that. But that's offered to anybody. So if you're at a place to where you do want to get involved with something like that, as soon as you come home, we help with, you can learn more about 70x7. We can help network with job placements. We can tell you if there are certain groups that are hiring. We'll do all that. We'll work with you. And as long as you're serious, as long as you're at a place where you're tired and you're wore out, we'll work with you. So I'd encourage you, when you get out, come look us up. You can check us out as soon as you get home at 70x7muskegon.org. That's 70x7 muskegon.org. Check us out on Facebook. Like us. We're here in Muskegon. We're not going anywhere. And what we want to do is we want to create a community and an environment, a greenhouse where people who are returning home from jail or prison can come out and get plugged in, and you can flourish right here. So please, come check us out. If you need any information, Forgotten Man Ministries is there in the jail. Connect with them. Ask them about 70x7. If there's not any flyers there in the pod, why don't you ask them or maybe one of the deputies there if you could get one of the flyers for 70x7. I look forward to seeing you when you come out. We're here at 1128 Roberts, right off Apple Avenue. We're on the corner of Isabel and Roberts in the Kingdom Life Church building. So as soon as you come home, come up here. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'd be more than willing to meet with you, sit down, get you involved with what we're doing. Blessings, and we will see you soon.